Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, February 7th. I am in Kodak, Tennessee. If you don't know where that is, I'm on I-40 here, near right where you get off, actually, if you're going to Gatlinburg, Smoky Mountains, Dollywood, that area of the world. Also home to the world's largest Buc-ee's, which swap like in full honesty why I stopped here. But on my way home from New Orleans, also had a press conference this morning with Peter O'Reilly of the NFL about the next international announcement. We had talked to Peter in New Orleans about the NFL going to Melbourne, Australia for a game in 2026. And he told me then that there was a game announcement that we made very soon about the game in Ireland in 2025. And that was this morning as Peter O'Reilly and the NFL announced that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be playing a home game in Ireland in 2025. The date of that game has not been announced. I've been told to expect it to be on September 28th. That's week 4. That is a week where the Pittsburgh Pirates are at home, so the Steelers would not have been able to play a home game that date anyway, so that kind of lines up with the way things usually are. And the opponent has not been finalized. There's been lots of talk about the Green Bay Packers, also the Bills, Vikings, and Seahawks are possibilities. Remember, I know there's been a lot of talk about the Packers. Remember last year there was a lot of talk about the Browns going to Sao Paulo, and they ended up not. It was the Packers and the Eagles. It would be a little bit unusual for the league to request the Packers to go on the road overseas in back-to-back seasons, but they certainly could if they wanted to. And hey, the colors line up nicely. Green in Ireland certainly wouldn't offend anyone. So we shall see. That probably will not come out until the rest of the schedule is finalized because the NFL likes to keep their options open in terms of how they have to move the other games around. The Steelers kind of get anchored to that spot, but then their opponents could change based on how the permutations of the schedule go. So we got a bunch of questions on Twitter about basically what this means, what's going to happen. So I figured I'd just talk about the process here. So the Steelers will go to Ireland the week of the game. They have an option as to when they want to go. Some teams have gone later in the week and just tried to spend their whole week at their home and then pop in for the game, pop out. I do not expect the Steelers to do that. I expect this to be like a full week in Ireland for the team, not only for the sort of acclimatization to the time change part of that process, but also I just think the Steelers want this to be a big deal. They want to be a part of more events than just the game in terms of making this the NFL Ireland and UK office called this like a mini Super Bowl, and I think that's what it's going to be like. We did also talk to Dan Rooney, who was on the press conference. Dan is the Steelers Director of Business Strategy, obviously the son of Team President Art Rooney II. And Dan was, said, this is a place I've been. When his grandfather was ambassador of Ireland, they traveled all over. And this is a thing that the family has been very excited about for a while. I wrote yesterday at SteelersNow.com about why they're playing now in Ireland instead of Mexico, which was the first place where they had international marketing rights and also a place where they would like to play. But I think the stadium availability came up, and Croke Park will be the venue, 80,000 plus seats, and should be they're expecting a sellout. I mean, this should be a big deal game. Smitty and I talked yesterday about what this means for Steelers season ticket holders. So the league runs the ticketing for this. Steelers season ticket holders will not have a ticket for this game. They will be able to buy one. There may be a special way for Steelers season ticket holders to get access, but that's not determined at this point. But yeah, definitely expecting a lot of Steelers fans to be flying over for that one. Should be an incredible atmosphere, big stadium, a bunch of standing room kind of seats in that one. So it's a lot more common in Europe, but should be a pretty rowdy crowd. I'd be pretty excited about that. And of course, that game will be kicking off in the morning here for us in the Eastern time zone. So it'll be like a 9 or a 9:30 or something like that start time. That hasn't been announced yet, but that's the way it always goes when they play over in Europe. So you got that to look forward to as well. If you're if you're not going and you want to have some early morning Steelers football for the first time. One thing a lot of people asked me about was the timing in the calendar. I'm expecting this, like I said, to be September 28th. That's early in the season. Teams will get the option of whether they want their bye immediately after going to Europe or not. So the Steelers will get to choose whether they want that week 5 bye, or if they would rather their bye be later in the season, then they don't have to take it right then. That will be up to them. Obviously, you got to deal with the jet lag coming back, getting readjusted to the schedule, that type of thing. So that's part of the reason why I think as the league moves into more international games, and I truly believe that in the next couple of years, we're going to get to an 18-game schedule. We're going to get to 16 regular season international games a year. Right now, they're authorized up to 8. I'm not sure they're going to get there this year because of the problems with the stadium in Mexico. But yeah, up to 8 right now. I think we'll get to 16. And, that means that every team will be playing one international game per year. And I think then to go to 18 and also go to 2 buys would allow for that sort of buy after a trip to Europe, or Australia, even worse. Make it kind of automatic. Although I expect that Australia game to be in that week 1 Friday night time slot that we saw the Brazil game in last year. So lots to be excited about here. I think it's a good opportunity for the Steelers to really plant their flag in Ireland. We talked about the Steelers' revenue growth and how it's something that is a problem for the team that's from a small market. And I think the Steelers have a real opportunity to make Ireland their market. There are other teams that have NFL marketing rights in Ireland. I know the Jets are one. I believe there is another one. But I think the Steelers have a real opportunity to kind of make Ireland black and gold in terms of NFL fandom. And I'll be really interested to see how this moves forward, whether they go back. They're committed to playing in Mexico. I believe they would like to play in Germany, where they also added international marketing rights. But it would not surprise me at all if we see the Steelers go back to Ireland sooner than later, because I think they have a real opportunity to corner the market, as it were, in Ireland, and make that all Steelers fans. And obviously, American football is not as popular as other sports in Ireland, but there's 5 million people in Ireland. So, that's like 2.5 Pittsburghs. So that's a long way to go in terms of the distribution of the fan base compared to what we have in Pittsburgh. But it's a big opportunity for the team, and I expect them to pursue it. So, yeah, that's all I got for today. If you have a question about this, leave it here, and we'll get back to it. And Smitty and DB are taking the afternoon ride today. I am going to be driving the rest of the way back to Pittsburgh, so probably taking this one off, and then we'll go from there. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.